Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Conrad, and how are you, buddy? Yeah, today is May 2nd, 2022, the year of our Lord, and I am back in the shed, as you can see. Got all my beautiful stuff around me, so that's what's happening. We're under severe weather here in Prague, Oklahoma today. It must be following me around. We were back in Wichita on Friday for our other podcast, and tornado. If you haven't seen the footage, a tornado decided to land there while we were doing our show, and we're not big storm chasers. Excuse me, and we don't, we don't do that. We don't load up into a Dodge Ram pickup truck and try to chase down a tornado or anything. But we weren't scared for some reason. I don't know if we were in the throes of doing the show or didn't really grasp the magnitude of what the damage was going to be, but it went through there. It wasn't I don't even know if it was a deadly tornado. I hope not. I hope nobody died from it, but it definitely did some damage. There was a YMCA that was a notable image that I seen where a few cars had been thrown into the front of the YMCA there in Andover, which is outside of Wichita. So, I've walked through those corridors before, so it's kind of. But there's times I think when I was working out at the YMCA that I would have rather been hit by a truck than do what I was doing. So in a way, somebody that was walking through there, if somebody was working out, maybe it was an okay thing. I don't know. So, anyways, right now there's a tornado watch, and I guess there's a big severe thunderstorm, flood warning, all that kind of good stuff that comes with spring in Oklahoma. So we're fine. We have a storm shelter, and even if we didn't, I think we'd be fine. We have a GMC that's got a topper on it. So a lot of times when people are getting wet, they don't have toppers on the beds of their trucks, and I do. So it keeps everything pretty dry, and so I don't really like people talk about flooding. And I don't mean to be dismissive because I get it, dude. Like people have flooded bad. People have done flooded bad. Pretty happens pretty often. And the thing is, they don't have a topper on the back of their truck, so it's hard for me to be nonchalant about it or to be concerned or empathetic when it's like just buy a 1996 GMC with a topper on it. They're literally everywhere, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. So anyways, we got that in the driveway, so we're gonna be fine. Don't save your thoughts and prayers to for other reasons. Don't necessarily need to send them our way, at least not for that reason. Um, so yeah, it's the 2nd of May. It was very thunderstormy all day. There's no taco truck in. The only clear day of the week is tomorrow, but I think that at this point, we're just gonna try to hold it together. We have a big weekend planned this coming weekend with the taco truck, heading back to Kansas for a couple events and family things, and then we got to come back down and serve the school special lunch here in Prague. So, you know, there's a lot of, I would say a lot of prep. It's not really prep. There's a lot of thinking that goes into all of it. And if you've been listening to this show or any of the other projects that we do, whether it be those guys from Wichita or the OK Taco Show, if you've been listening to those, thank you. You're listening live. You're listening on Podbean. Thank you. And if you're just watching us, you're watching us on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook Live, or I think Twitter even has something. So you're watching us there via the Conradio account. So if you guys want to support Conradio, you can just look for it on Facebook. It's just spelled like it sounds, Conrad EO. So and Patreon is where you guys can support us. It's great. Or if you wanted to buy CBDs, if you buy CBDs, maybe you do to sleep, maybe you do to relax. Maybe you got shoulder pain. Maybe you used to be a former NHL player or something that has a bad ankle and you take CBDs for it. That's all good, and I support you. But if you want to support the show while getting treatment for that kind of stuff, then you can click through the link that's at the bottom of our episodes, and it's a affiliate link, and we get a little credit if you buy your CBDs through us. So I would appreciate that. My wife and I both enjoy the CBDs. I passed them out like candy to kids at a school recently to see how they would react, and no feedback yet on that, but I'm sure they enjoyed it. So if you guys want to be philanthropists and want to get a good product to pass out to children, just click through our link. That'd be great. So that's where we're at on everything. I don't remember what got me into that. Oh, if you've been listening to us for a while, you know that I worry a little too much, and I think about things sometimes, probably sometimes too much. The latest thing I've been thinking of is since we moved to this home in Oklahoma, for the most part, everything's fine. I mean, it's a much smaller house than what we used to have, which is fine, you know. And in fact, I think the other one was it was a little bit too much. It didn't seem like it, but you didn't really utilize it all at the same time. You know what I mean? That's the cool thing about when you find yourself in a home that's real small, you realize now, like, you know the working parts of everything that's going on in the home. You're part of the machine. When you have a bigger house, I mean, I'm talking like a couple thousand square feet, which isn't even that, probably like on the scale of homes in America, it's probably not even that considered that big of a home, but it's a big house. And when you have a house like that, you may not even go downstairs for a week or two at a time, you know, and be like, oh yeah, we have a theater downstairs. People will say that. We have a winery in the cellar, or, you know, we have a kitchenette downstairs for in case like guests come over. And so you never even use it because nobody likes you. So nobody comes over. So when we bought this house, it was just much smaller. And that's fine. I enjoy it. I actually like it when, like, if somebody ripped a fart in our old house in a different room, I may not hear it. And now, if you rip a fart or genuflect or say a prayer, or, you know, even if you just like your zipper stuck or something like that, something simple, people are gonna hear it in other rooms and ask what's going on. So it's always, you know, it's always fun, moving around your own house and just kind of muttering to yourself as you'll do, and just having the other people that live in the house constantly asking you what's going on. And so you're able to, it's just good for communication living in a smaller house is what I'd say. So, but the downfall of it though, partner, is this. Since we've moved here, for a while we didn't want to have like two internet. We're already duplicating bills, you know, by having the house in Kansas and this new one that we have down in Oklahoma. But and it's like, well, let's not. I don't want to pay for internet and, you know, stuff like that at both places. So to bypass it, we were using special cables that allowed you to watch certain streaming things through your phone. So basically, you plug your phone into your TV and you could watch stuff. Well, as cool as that is, as far as technology goes, it is very inconvenient as far as daily applicable lifestyle. And this next part that I'm about to talk about clearly is directed towards people that like don't have real problems. You know what I mean? Like if you live in a different part of the country and you don't have fucking food on your table, or you're homeless, or you don't even have a home, you know, whatever it is, maybe you don't have tennis shoes that have wheels in them, or you've never ridden a pay by the mile scooter. You know what I mean? Like people have real shit going on. So this isn't for those people. You know what I mean? This is for my middle class homies that are, you know, trying to decide whether or not they want to have YouTube TV or Sling TV. You know what I'm saying? So I get it that this problem is in most people's minds a problem they haven't got to yet. If you're living in fucking Uganda, what I'm about to say seems pretty cool. But when you're living in Prague and every day you're plugging in a dongle to watch, the latest Sex in the City, or at least a podcast about it, and you're plugging in the dongle and, it stops making sound halfway through or doesn't load correctly or whatever. This thing is just a pain in the ass. You got to sit there and dick with it the whole time you're trying to relax and unwind at the end of the day. And I told my wife the other night that this fucker's making me like madder than a Martina McBride song. I mean, just dealing with it. And so I was searching over the past few weeks for what we were going to do. TVs basically are given away now. They're free. If you go to Walmart and you buy a bucket of oranges or you get an apple or something, they're going to hand you a TV on your way out. That's how nobody cares. They're just, I walked by the other day. There was a bunch of people that were displaced, homeless people probably, that were displaced from recent weather activity that we had. And they were just pissed off because the part where they were used to stay, whatever bridge they used to stay, had power, and now they had nowhere to plug their free TV in. And so, we were going back and forth, my wife and I, and on thinking about it, and maybe more me than her, just thinking about like what's a good solution for this, because we have a perfectly fine TV. It's just a little bit small, and I wanted to get one that was a little bit flatter because, I mean, I don't like having to lean. That's how tight it is right now in my bedroom. Like if I walk by my TV, I have to lean by just to get by it. Like the bed is, I'm walking in between the television and the bed. And so I was like, let's get this one. And I bought one that was supposed to be real flat, like a picture frame. And it was, except for it had an additional box. And it's like, most people, I think people are like me where you don't want to just buy, if you put a TV, if you hang it on a wall, you don't want your cords just all over the place. It looks like shit. It looks like somebody is like so excited to watch TV that you did the part where you had to, make $3 or $4 to buy a TV. And then once you did that, you none of the planning as far as like, should I put a new outlet in? Should I butt off of this outlet? Do I want it nobody plans this shit. And I'm the opposite. I want it to look as if in 1912, when this tiny home built for goddamn Czechoslovakian immigrants was built. Oh, my sister, she has been running. We keep each other accountable on our running. She said she missed, so that's a demerit. That's 2 demerits. She didn't do it this weekend. That's 2 demerits. So, anyways, I don't want any fucking cords around. You know what I mean? And this home, I want it to look as if it was built into this home. So I bought the TV that was a little bit more expensive, thinking it was thinner, and came with a mount. Well, it was thinner, but the mount and all the other shit wouldn't work for what we were doing, unless I wanted to take a wall down or some shit. So, anyways, I was like, okay, I'll go the other way. I bought a cheap TV mount and a different kind of streaming thing. Like some people use Fire Stick, some people use Roku, Apple TV, all those. And the annoying part is I had a very Griswold moment with all this, okay? If you remember Christmas Vacation, it was a movie that was made with Chevy Chase and a plethora of no-name actors that never did anything since. And he basically carried these people through the film. And anyways, there's a scene in Christmas Vacation where Clark Griswold decided to put lights, Christmas lights, to compete with his neighbor, basically, all over his home. And it was just a tremendous amount of lights. And he wanted to be the brightest thing in whatever piece of shit town that they were in. And I think that what happened is there's a light switch that controlled the outlet that Clark had all of his lights going to. And so when he plugged in his final extension cord, nothing was happening. But when his wife walked back there to get some stuff for dinner, she clicked the light on and everything worked. Well, this is the exact same thing that happened to me. I carved a hole in my wall using laser vision. And once I opened the hole in my wall, I realized, oh, there's the cord right there for this outlet that's on the floor. I'll just take off of it. But there was two back there. And so one of them, I was like, well, one's probably the switch, maybe. And the other one, but this one, of course, I chose the wrong one, but I didn't know it. So I got it all wired up and spliced in and had the outlet mounted, and I tested it. And the first time I tested it, it didn't work. And I was like, what the hell? But then I walked back over there, put it in something, and it worked. I was like, maybe I didn't flip the breaker back on all the way, or you try to convince yourself that there's a reason for this madness. And I tested a couple more times and it worked. Well, bud, it was wired into the bathroom light. That's where I didn't know that, but each time I was testing it, somebody was in there taking a dump or something, so it worked. Well, today I got my TV mounted, I got everything plugged in, everything's working. We're going through, one of the most tedious things ever is just uploading all your streaming information to a new device. You know what I mean? Like how many different streamers you got? Are you on Peacock? Are you on Sling? Are you YouTube Live in? Like what's going on? And you got to put all that shit up in there. And everything's fine. I mean, we're going through that, which is hard. It's not as hard as finding water or, looking for a safe place to live. But it's still annoying. I will say that. And all of a sudden my wife gets done seeing how beautiful she is in the mirror and the bathroom and turns the bathroom light off and TV comes off. And I said, oh, God, now I realize that I've done this. So disassemble it all, take it off the wall, pull the box back out. And all of that to get in was, probably not to code, I guess. So to retrace my steps and to redo it, basically, it's like I ruined a lot of stuff doing it the first time. Now I got to try to do it. But ultimately I got it. It's back in. We'll see if hopefully nothing catches on fire. I always worry about that for a while every time I wire something. Usually because I'm, you know, yeah. I'm not an electrician, I'll put it that way. So either way, got it in and everything's great. Can't wait to lay down tonight and enjoy a little bit of, because recently I've just been laying there on my stomach with this stupid dongle, just plugging in stuff and unplugging it, and it's just frustrating. And you can't relax, so it actually makes that hour and a half, 5 hours, or whatever it is you're laying down and watching TV at the end of the night unenjoyable. And so now it'll be nice to lay back and watch TV like it was meant to be, like God meant for it to be, which is on the wall. And so I'm pretty excited about that. Anyways, that's what today was. I mean, I know that's not a lot for people, but other than billing and I had some invoicing and some tax situations to get through. That was basically today. Oh, and then I also let the kids skip school today, so don't tell on me to any like truancy officers or anything. But one of the traditions that I wanted to keep alive was and I didn't really get to do it. They're kind of on to me now. My children are, at least. It used to be real fun when it was my dad. Every once in a while he would come pick me up from school and I had no idea that he was doing it, and there was no reason for it. He would just come pick me up from school, and so I get a call down to the office and I'm like, oh my God, they found out that I did whatever it is that I should have been guilty for. And on my way there, I'm trying to think up what's the most obvious thing they caught me for. And, because there's always, when you're a career criminal, when you're a career con artist or whatever, that's the part that you have to live with. That's the guilty part, guys. And So on your way to the office, you sit there and think, oh shit, what'd they figure out? And when I'd get there, my dad was there and it's like, uh-oh, they really figured something big out. But in fact, it was the opposite. He was like, hey, I needed your help, or whatever. And then usually it was just he wanted to take me to a movie, or he wanted to, just come hang out. And so I try to do that with my kids, but the problem is right now, it's not that one or the other likes me any more than one or the other. It's that one or the other won't allow the other one to enjoy anything unless they get to enjoy it. Very common sibling problem, but so if I tell my son, "Hey, it's a daddy day tomorrow. I'm gonna come. You're gonna skip school. We'll go do something fun." My daughter hears that, or will find out, or knows of it somehow naturally, like a woman does, and you're gonna take Jonah. What about me? Do I get a dad? It's like, and then they're fighting with each other, and Jonah's like, "Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna get one," and but anyways, ultimately we opted. I was like, "You guys both, you don't have to go to school tomorrow. We'll go to the store." That's all they wanted to do this weekend, which is how sad our life is. All they want to do is go to Walmart and spend $20. They have saved $20 and they wanted to spend it, and so they didn't get a chance. And I said, "I'll take you to Walmart." So we did, and they skipped school. So I think they're fine, but they missed too much. Get in trouble, I guess. So, anyways, other than I keep getting alerts on my phone saying that tornado's on its way, things are pretty good. There was a thing that I noticed the other day. I was at a gas station, and I know that people think that chivalry is dead, and for the most part, it is. Good riddance. Let's stop being nice to each other. But sometimes there is also a moment where it's too much, and that's the part that people don't talk about a lot. People are concerned with the fact that they're walking towards the door. There's a gentleman in front of them that has got to the door before they got there. That gentleman, the appropriate thing to do is to sense that somebody was behind you, not like 40 yards away behind you, but right behind you. And you pull the door open and then stand to the side and allow the person that was behind you to walk in. I mean, that's common. We don't know each other. That's common chivalry, but we don't know each other. You had no reason to be this nice to me, but you were doing it because I'm a person and you're a person. And that's fine with me. I mean, of course it's fine. Why wouldn't it be? And sometimes it gets awkward where there is like a 10-foot distance, I think, where don't make me jog to get there, bud. Because now it's like, who's being nicer? Are you being nice by opening the door for me? Or, am I being nice by running to the open door now? Did you run there? No, you walked. You were smoking a cigarette. You were on the phone. You walked there. You got to coolly pull it open and look like goddamn John Stamos or something while you do it. And I have to run like a jackass towards the door because I don't want you to have to stand and wait too long to do something nice for me. And it's like, I don't even know you, dude. So there is a limit. That's kind of what this is about. So I walked in to donate to a charity, of course. Sometimes I go to gas stations. I like to go see what they're rounding up for. And I was standing in line to round up, and the guy in front of me was ordering cigarettes from the stewardess, from the gas station stewardess. And she's like, what flavor do you want? And he's like, Marlboro. I need 2 packs of Marlboro, and I also need a lighter. I think it's his first day smoking, maybe. And it's about 12, so it seems right. And she handed him his cigarettes, and then there was this moment. This is the part that cut it out, okay? This is the part that you got to cut out. She's like, well, that's 14.95 or whatever it was. He's like, okay. She's like, are you paying with a card? I am paying with a card. And he hands her the card. Oh, you actually have to, she hands it back. Oh, thanks. I don't know how these things work. Oh, yeah. Well, just it's going to tell you the total. Are you a rewards member? No, I'm not. I should be, though, maybe. Does that have discounts? And it's like, oh, yeah, it does. Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, I need some information on that. It's like, and I'm standing there like, what the fuck? No, buy your shit. You're going to get cancer soon. You're smoking cigarettes. You're going to die of cancer. You don't need rewards. There's nothing rewarding about you. Each moment that ticked by, I thought of things that I shouldn't have thought of. This guy just opened the door for me. And now all of a sudden, I'm standing here thinking this man is the worst man on the planet. Because it gets to the point where the transaction's complete. And she's like, well, I hope you have a great day. And he's like, I hope you have a great weekend. And she's like, I hope you have a great weekend. He's like, I hope you have are you doing anything this weekend? Well, no, I'll be working. Oh, I hope work's great for you. She's like, what are you doing? I'm working too. I hope work's great for you. Shut the fuck up. Get out of the way. Work sucks. you know? And I didn't, he was just being nice. He was. But sometimes there's this awkwardness with, it's like the people that don't know how to end a text conversation. You know what I mean? If you're texting and I throw you a thumbs up, conversation's over on that topic. But if I throw you a thumbs up and then you reply, hey, thanks so much. Now it's like, are we going to last text this? Like, are we going to, hey, no problem. Like, how many times is this going to go around? But there's always those people that want to be the last person to say something. And then sometimes that's fine if they're okay with it. But sometimes those are the same people that'll be like, I said thanks so much and it's really great having you on the team. They didn't say anything. No, I threw a thumbs up before you said that, dude. I threw a thumbs up. That means all of what you texted. It also means this conversation on that topic is over. If you want to open up a new topic, totally fine. But if you want to just continue going down the salutations or the post salutations of a conversation until one of us finally concedes, because this can go on forever. That's exactly what I was standing by at the gas station the other day. It was like, oh, do you go to church? Yeah, I go to church. Oh, praise God. Yeah, praise God. Get out of the way so I can, donate to this charity. Just get the fuck out of the way. So, anyways, just be careful about that. Understand that those people don't care about you and you don't care about them. So be pleasant because they're humans. But you don't have to go overboard in every conversation, especially when there's another human behind you that just wants to get the hell out of here. That doesn't like people and doesn't like being around people and that kind of stuff. So get your shit done. I got to give a shout out before I get out of here to the Scouts. Boy Scouts of America now accepting female applications too. If you're a young girl and you want to be a Boy Scout, you can do that. That is legal now. You want to be a Girl Scout? That's fine too. But the boldness of these cats is incredible. And I'm not talking about the actual Scouts, not the young men and women that are, foregoing screen time to go learn about the wilderness or to sell cookies or to wash cars. I'm not talking about those. Those kids are fine. Those kids are doing what they're told, probably by a parent that doesn't want them around, to be honest. And maybe if it's a good-hearted parent, it's a parent that wants them to get something out of this experience. Those are fine. The Scouts are fine. But as I was driving the other day, I noticed there was a parking lot that was littered with these little boogers running all over the place, and a couple trucks and a couple older Scouts, like 60 or 70-year-old Scouts, that were leaning on the bed of this pickup truck. And the parking lot that they were in was a Catholic church parking lot. And as I drove by, I thought, that is bold. Let's put it out there. Not that these kids were victims, because I don't know, but it's like if OJ wanted to have a picnic at the place he cut that lady's head off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could all be fine, but it's poor optics, OJ. Yeah, you did that thing right here, And I know you like tilapia sandwiches, bud, but you could pick a better locale for it. So these kids were meeting up at a place that historically, at least recently, kind of known for uh, doing some pretty shitty stuff to children, dude. So you can't. And I'm not, as a Catholic, I can say this stuff. You know what I mean? Is being a Catholic, um, being raised Catholic and being still a Catholic, you can say stuff about the Catholic Church like that because that's our inward. You know what I mean? We've had to walk around dealing with the way people think of us that has nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? We weren't there. In fact, we may have been affected by it in the negative way. Yet, you tell somebody you're Catholic, people are like, "Ooh, yeah." Like, you know what I mean? So it's fine if I bring up the fact that there was just a huge settlement on the Boy Scouts of America where a lot of these seems like a lot of the Boy Scout coaches were raised by Catholic priests because they were doing some of the same styles of raising kids, which means kissing them and stuff. And so the fact that you're going to get a big lawsuit for your organization about that and then meet up at a place where that happens too often, that's bad. So I'd be kind of careful about where we meet up next time. Maybe just pick a park, you know? Don't pick a church. If you want to pick a church, pick a Baptist church or a Scientology church, or don't pick Catholic church. That's, you know why? You're Boy Scouts. What does that mean? Well, it means that there's a settlement for the fact that you guys molest. Then you met at a molester place. You know what I'm saying? And all cards on the table, I don't think any of that was going on with this troop. Troop 69. No, I didn't know their troop number. But I don't, it's just be aware of, I drove by and thought that. I can't be the only one. I know that most people drove by and, ran over 3 or 4 kids because they were texting and didn't even notice. But somebody else has to drive by and be like, yeah, it's kind of strange place to meet, if you're going to be rearing children, poor choice of words probably. You don't want to meet up at a place that's been in trouble for rearing children. As an organization that's been in trouble for rearing children. That's all I'm saying. So just be kind of cognizant of that fact. It's fine. So I had a couple news stories. I don't know if I'll get to them today, guys. I got to go grill some chicken. One thing that I wanted to get some feedback on, and you guys can always email me at conradiomail@gmail.com. It's a stupid name. I get it, but so is everything else. So conradiomail@gmail.com. I had this idea that, and don't steal it, and if you do, fuck off, because it's probably a really good idea. But sometimes you're stuck. And everything you do, even if you're passionate about it and you care a lot about it and you want to share it with people, people don't care that much. And because you're not the person that they want to hear shit from, or they haven't been told by the right person to listen to you. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's natural, actually. Because people are sheep by nature. So they don't take a chance on stuff a lot of times. That's why a lot of women, are afraid to be sexually advance to their husbands. They don't want to do that. They want their husbands to pursue them. And the husband, meanwhile, is all he wants is for that person to do that to them. You know what I mean? Like but you have to be told that sometimes by somebody that you trust. A lot of times that's a woman that is the head of some sort of whorehouse that tells you that this is what men want. And so on that note, um, sometimes you have to find different ways to get people's attention, even though they didn't know that they wanted to give you their attention. So you got to go viral. That's what I'm saying. It's the longest way ever of saying you got to go viral with something that you do. And I thought that taking my shirt off, putting on a Meatloaf, the singer, Meatloaf wig, tying hot dogs to it, and then having somebody fire hot dogs at me as I was driving a mini bike with Meatloaf playing in the background would be funny and viral. It was funny, not viral. People didn't care. So this next one I'm about to tell you, I think could go viral. Basically, the idea is for short videos, because that's what people's attention spans is, you go through your home and you roast household items, like comedy roast them. So, for example, you might walk up to your coffee maker and you'd be like, "This, look at you. You think you can make coffee? Your coffee tastes like shit. You know, you don't even. Is that all you are? Because some coffee makers can do cappuccino. You can barely even do cappuccino unless I got like some sort of special flavor that I'm putting in on it. Like I got like some sort of special bottle in the fridge. It's got a special pumper on it that can make you taste like cappuccino. You can't do it on your own. Oh, and what? You only run off of uh alternate current? You know what I mean? You don't run off 12 volt. You're just a regular plug-in 110. Oh, you was a bad coffee maker, dude. You suck. And you could do it with anything. You do it with your TV. Like, oh, you always wants to turn off when there's a storm. You could do it with your power, your couch, love seat. Oh, you call yourself a love seat? Shit. You seen less love than Patton Oswalt's sofa, babe. I don't know why I throw Patton under the bus, but I gotta imagine it's a pretty dry sofa. Being out of the fact that he seems asexual. So anyways, that's an idea I had. Let me know what you think. I thought about roasting you guys, like, send me in, which I'll do. If you send me in your first and just first name's probably fine. What you do for a living, like anything notable about you, where you live, what you drive, where you work, how many kids you have, if you have animals. I'll gladly roast you guys on the next show. So, and if maybe you just have a shitty appliance at your house, like a bad vacuum. The one thing that you don't do is suck. The one thing you don't do is suck. Okay? You're loud as hell, but you ain't sucking nothing up. I don't know why my roasts sometimes turn into that affectation, and I apologize if that's offensive. So, consider sending in information about yourself that you want to laugh about yourself on to me, and I will roast you. Or just send me a shitty household item, and I'll roast it. And thank you guys for listening. We are going to be back tomorrow with an OK Taco show. I'll probably bring this stuff up on the show. The news stories I had, because I don't want to lose them. If I don't make it on the OK Taco show, they'll make it on those guys from Wichita. You can find both those available all the time on Conradio, which is on Spotify and Apple and all that stuff, if you just like the download stuff. But if you want to support the show, please consider going to patreon.com/Conradio, and you'll get access to not only this show and all the free shows we do, but any bonus stuff that we send up there. So, we're independent. We do it on our own, clearly. And, I'd like to yell at a producer that's behind the scene right now and say, hey, is that good? But I can't. But it's just me, baby, sitting here. So help us grow. Help us do this. And we'll take over this shit, which is what it is. I mean, it's just shit. So we'll take it over. All right, guys. With that being said, don't let your meat loaf and have an okay day.